got caned. He was over in Singapore. American kid, goes to Singapore. He does some graffiti on a car. And they fucking caned his ass. I think it was like 12 lashes with a cane.
Yep. I remember that. That was awesome.
Now, I don't know about you, but we were all fucking horrified. And terrified. And you know what? We didn't do graffiti for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
We need to bring caning over to North America. I think that would be... If you thought you were going to get publicly caned, there's a lot of stupid shit you would not do. We got to start bringing back consequences for stupid shit.
Yep. Fully agree. My next one, by the way, Eric, I issue a challenge. I'm pretty sure with this one I could get you to slap your head and go, "Are you kidding me?" I bet you I can.
And just on this fucking Corona thing, okay, you made Pearl Jam postpone a tour. You have no idea what you're doing to me. They haven't even played in Canada in like fucking 7 years.
You're just delaying my fun. Bullshit.
Their new album, by the way, being compared to a combination of No Code and Yield. So they're saying, arguably, this is their best album since the 90s.
Oh, ouch.
That
says very little.
No, it really doesn't. It says a tremendous amount because all of their albums have gotten progressively better and better and better if you're a fan. But the last two were a little soft. So that's a very bold statement. If it's even half as good as critics are making it out to be, it's going to be a fucking phenomenal album.
I've still only heard the one song, and it's just another disappointment.
Yeah.
Well, I still can't get into it. Every time I hear it, I'm thinking, all right, let's do it again.
Keep it open.
Nope, can't do it. I try to. I just can't. I like other stuff that they done. I do like other stuff, and I like Eddie Vedder as a person. I like him as a performer, and you know, I do like a bunch of stuff they've done. Am I a Pearl Jam fanatic? No, but I can still recognize a decent song or a decent lick or whatever it is that's in it. But that new one, it sounds like the Bad Religion album that they released, trying to sound like they were doing the same music. It's just...
As I stated, the single's kind of grown on me. I kind of like it now.
Yes. I'd rather have coronavirus.
I like it very much. I wouldn't say I'm a fanatic. I skipped a grade 11 final exam to be the first in line at HMV to get Vitalogy. I have Eddie Vedder tattooed on my leg.
I have Steve Ray Vaughan tattooed on my side.
Wouldn't say I'm a fanatic.
You're a fan.
I saw them in Montana. I cried.
You're a fanatic. You're that guy that'd be at the Michael Jackson concert just bawling her eyes out when they fucking see him.
That's terrible.
You.
That's terrible.
That's terrible. Why would you say that? That's terrible.
Why you be so mean to Eric?
Fag.
He's in the news. His kid just bought a house, really expensive house.
Oh, I'm not overly surprised.
Anyway. That's terrible. Don't be so mean to Eric.
No, I only have a couple of things. I'm doing my best to avoid as much of the coronavirus talk as possible because it's just...
$42 goddamn dollars a roll for toilet paper. Yeah. Are you people stupid?
Yeah.
You are. I'm not even asking. You are stupid. Sorry, that wasn't supposed to be a question. You're fucking retarded.
Eric, you know who Dr. Oz is?
Oh, do I?
Yes, you do. Well, Dr. Oz has identified the weak link in the in pandemics. You're gonna love this.
I heard about this.
I'm gonna quote him because that's what makes it so amazing. The weak link fighting a pandemic is when hospitals get sick. No. Stop it.
No, you gotta keep in mind the dude's a fucking quack. He's. I'm more of a doctor than Dr. Goddamn Oz. And he's not wrong. When stuff breaks out in the hospital, it's bad. It spreads quickly to a bunch of sick people. He's right. People with compromised immune systems who happen to be in the hospital being treated for something else are at great risk. But don't bring that up in regards to coronavirus. That's a bullshit, fear-mongering, stupid media doctor thing to do. Go fix C. difficile. C. difficile is running rampant in hospitals and killing people at numbers that would make the coronavirus cry. The actual virus would tear up if you knew what C. difficile is doing in our hospitals. So, Dr. Oz, thank you for making an obvious point, but don't do it for coronavirus. Do it for C. difficile. Do it for all the horrible things that go through our hospitals untreated.
Yeah.
Don't do it for this bullshit. Don't be part of the problem.
Here's how bad this moron is. And I'm going to quote again. Quote, when the nurses and doctors are ill, when everyone who goes to the hospital feels ill, it no longer is it hospital. It becomes hospice. You go there to die, and that's a catastrophe.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, well,
but
in this situation,
in relation
you're
to the coronavirus,
fanning the flames.
See, this is where now someone's going to be shitty. I know I'm going to get a shitty email about he's a real doctor and you should say that. Yeah, I get he's a real doctor, but all these celebrity motherfuckers cross a line at some point where your show, your ratings are suddenly more important than your medical degree. It's not just the doctors; they all do it. The cops on reality shows, anyone who becomes a celebrity version of what they already are, eventually sells out what they're supposed to be for the celebrity side of it.
Yeah.
It just happens. You think Gordon Ramsay's made a fucking salad in the last 20 years? Of course not. He's a celebrity now. He doesn't have to.
He makes his beef Wellington.
And Dr. Oz, he may have been a real and credible and good doctor at one point, but he sold his fucking soul for the celebrity side of it. That's why he's out with all these fucking hacks crying about coronavirus instead of solving a problem. And yes,
right.
The problem of infection in hospitals is a terrible problem. Go fix it. Get off the fucking news. Go be a doctor.
Do you want to know the worst thing about this is? It's what he's using as an example. Dr. Oz observed that during the Spanish flu of 1918, I'm going to repeat that, 1918, considered one of the world's worst natural disasters, hospitals were overwhelmed. Quote, that ended up happening in 1918 more than we wanted to acknowledge, he said, because there wasn't the ability to take care of large numbers of sick people. Yeah, it was 1918.
We did not have proper sanitation. Most people didn't even have plumbing yet in 1918. Hospitals were woefully underdeveloped. We were nowhere scientifically. We were in the fucking Stone Age in 1918 compared to where we are now. Yeah, it was terrible. I'm not saying it wasn't. Killed millions of people. It was bad. Medicine has improved.
Penicillin wasn't even developed until 1928, 10 years later.
There you go.
They didn't even have penicillin at the time. It's not because hospitals were overwhelmed. It's because it was 1918.
Yes. Everyone was overwhelmed by everything.
Yeah, they were still stinging you with scorpions.
Light bulbs.
Like they didn't. Oh my god! I hate this fucking planet every day. I hate it. I hate it more every single day.
I hate the sensationalization of taking a number like that and turning it into something that stupid people can be afraid of. That's what keeps news shows exciting, and that's what keeps people tuning in. It's such a manipulative, fucking sick thing to do for a doctor, a guy passing himself off as a PhD, doing this shit. Yeah, things were bad in 1918. Sure. There was still slavery. You're talking pre-Nazism. We haven't even heard of Nazis yet in 1918. So yeah, the world was a different place. We have fucking cars on Mars that send me live pictures on my fucking laptop. You're comparing us to 1918?
Yeah.
How can we put fucking cars on Mars with live action cameras on them and we can't put a bullet in that guy's fucking temple and solve a problem?
Yeah, I so agree. Now, we've spoken a little bit about this, Eric, over the fact that I said that this was a Chinese conspiracy from day one, and then all of a sudden China is coming forward saying, "Ew, it was America that fucking gave us the coronavirus. It was all America that did it."
Wrong.
Now, there are tons of interesting theories out there. One of the biggest ones lately coming out is I don't even know who the guy is. I didn't look his credentials up. But he's come out with this video where basically he explains that if you look at all major pandemics and major virus outbreaks over the last, I think it was last 100 years, like from 1918 and forward, there's one direct link between every single one of these major outbreaks across the world.
They all happen during an election year.
That's not the only thing. 6 months before each major outbreak, there was a massive advancement in some form of I'm going to say radio technology, but something that puts radio waves in the air. In 1918, 6 months before the 1918 Spanish flu outbreak started, was when the first radio waves started going out. So 6 months before that is when the first are radio waves. And what happens is these radio waves apparently interact with the human body, and it creates a virus because it's disrupting the cells in the human body that's not used to. And it creates a form of a virus. And then as you go through each stage, there's a new up of there's a big one that happened in the 50s, which was when TV was introduced, and then the satellites, and it sort of goes on. But it tops off with the coronavirus, where the guy says that the coronavirus itself, what makes this one stand out is the fact that the 5G network. And do you want to guess the name of the town that got the first full 5G network?
Trumpville.
Wuhan.
I'm sorry?
Wuhan, the very first, the place where the whole outbreak started. That town, that city, was the first city to go full 5G.
Now that's very interesting.
6 months later, epidemic hit.
Huh.
So I thought that whole thing was very interesting. And playing on that, again, proving that this whole thing is a form of man-made, it's man-made anyways, but there is a cyber attack had hit the Department of Health and Human Services in the U.S. They didn't do anything particularly bad to them. The only thing they're doing is they hit their main website and their center, strictly aimed to slow down all of their computers, just to keep the panic going, to make it more difficult for people to get in to reach them.
Did you, just a little off topic, but did you hear what they did in China? Because all the schools are closed in China, but it's China, right? So they just said, go home, we'll do remote classes, do it on your laptop, here's the app.
Yeah.
So this one little fucking Chinese kid gave the app, he spammed the app with 1-star reviews, and it got kicked off the Apple iStore. So none of the kids could do the home classes.
Oh, that's genius.
Fucking, they're like, they're plotting to take over the world, and these little fuckers who they can't even go to high school, but they're